all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, everyone. How we doing? So I just wanted to come in and sort of wanted to touch on something that I have been seeing and wanted to talk about is the homeless epidemic. This is what winter actually looks like. I don't know what anybody conceived it as, but this is what it actually looks like. I want to share a couple of clips with you. Okay. This is various things on TikTok that I found that speaks to the concept of homelessness that a lot of women are going through right now. Okay. This is just, I'm just scrolling down right now for you to see.
Homeless by choice. I feel completely safe where I live. In order to get into my residence, you have to have a code. And in order to get on any floor other than the first floor in the elevator, you also have to have a code. So I don't have to worry about anyone running up on me while I'm sleeping. Now, this is my routine at night before I go do Uber. Because the business hours are from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and everything locks down, including the elevator, I have to set myself up to where I can get back into the unit once I'm done working. So that's what you see me doing here. I go up to my unit, I put my things away, I come back down, I set up the door to where it does not lock, and also to where no one can notice that it's open. There are other people here. I don't want to jeopardize them. I'll prop the gate open so that I can walk through, and I park my car outside. So although I'm homeless by choice, I feel completely safe where I live.
To hear the delusion, I'm homeless by choice. Ma'am, nobody's homeless by choice. Nobody's homeless by choice. Nobody. Nobody is living a life of instability, especially a woman, by choice. That go against our very nature. It is against a woman's very nature to choose instability if we have a choice not to choose instability. Do we understand what would have to happen or what kind of circumstances would have to be going on in order to choose instability? Stability would have to mean that we would have to be involved with something that we consciously cannot do. Criminal activity for those of us who could not do sex work, for those of us who, stability would have to come in the form of doing something that we would not be able to look ourselves in the face anymore if we had to do it, versus instability. Do y'all understand what I'm talking about? The only time that a woman would choose homelessness and instability is if stability meant doing something, engaging in something that she absolutely cannot do. And even in that situation, if we really had to be like that, we would never say we're homeless by choice. We would never say that. We would say circumstances put me here. This is just the circumstance that I'm in right now. I can't help it. I can't help it. You know, I'm trying to work myself out of it, but this is bad and I don't want to live like this. That's what we would say. If we had to be in a situation where we could not have stable housing, we would not delude ourselves. We would not delude ourselves into saying, I'm homeless by choice, because that's a whole delusion. It's a whole delusion, because if somebody came with a good apartment and a good job and right away, we would move towards that. So we had her. Okay. We've got these other females.
It's coming back with an update. So yeah. I think I'm probably now on roughly 122nd days, I guess, since September 18th. I've been homeless since September the 18th and just trying to continue to smile and put on a happy face. But I just really wanted to just reach out today and post a small video just to tell everyone thank you for the comments, for the likes, for the words of wisdom, words of encouragement, um, the inboxes, the messages, the Instagrams, the emails, the phone calls. The support just has been amazing. Um, I just want to just tell everybody just thank you. That's really about it. Other than that, I'm doing okay. I did receive a few more um, small donations yesterday. So I was able to stay in a room last night. Outside of that, I did receive a phone call for the job offer that I have been waiting for. I have not received the official effective date, the official invitation.
Before I let this continue, because her story is not what I really want to focus on. I'm not even here to focus on each individual's story. I'm not even here to talk about them and ridicule them for being homeless. Most people are one paycheck away, no matter the size of the paycheck. Most people are. Most people can't afford to lose no job. Let me answer a couple of things. People are saying, oh, well, she got a wig on, or homelessness don't always look like what you think homelessness look like. Many of these homeless women have full-time jobs. Let me repeat that. Many of these homeless women that you're going to see have full-time jobs. They are working. They are working. They are not working. They get a paycheck. It's not enough. The paycheck is not enough to support them as individuals in a studio or one bedroom with all the bills that are associated with that. Most people in this day and age, in 2024, 2025, the economy is that bad. The job market is that bad. The inflation is that bad. The dollar is that worthless. Okay? You can afford. Do y'all know how cheap wigs are? Do y'all know how cheap? People are saying she got on a wig. Do y'all know how cheap wigs are? Do y'all have any idea how cheap a wig is? Please stop listening to these hyenas talking about they spending hundreds and thousands of dollars. Please stop listening to that. Please, I'm here to tell y'all. Do y'all know how cheap a wig is? Especially a synthetic one that's bad. You can spend $10. They be on sale for $5 and $10 sometimes. That is not a big expense. Wigs are not a big expense. That's a cheap expense. Nail polish is 99 cents at the beauty supply store. Nail polish, not getting your nails done at the shop, but just simple nail polish, that's 99 cents. Y'all know how cheap this stuff is? Men don't know how cheap this stuff is. Y'all believe the women that say it costs so much to do this stuff. Makeup at the beauty supply store be $1, $1.99, $2, $3, a couple of dollars for, it's 99 cents for the lipstick. It's $1.99 for the concealer. It might be $3.99 for the foundation. It's pennies. It's pennies. It don't cost nothing. That little makeup, some LA Girl, some Wet n Wild out of the beauty supply store is a couple of dollars. You only start spending money on makeup when you buying the big time makeup. You buying NARS, you buying Urban Decay, you're buying, you got to buy the high end makeup. The stuff at the beauty supply store is even cheaper than what's at the drugstore. You go in Walgreens and CVS and spend more money for some Maybelline than you do for Ruby Kisses at the beauty supply store. So the little money that they're getting, that they're spending on that, serves a couple of functions. It helps them to try to still see themselves as human beings. Once you get to a certain level of poverty, you start not to see yourself like a human because other people don't regard you as a human. Once you're homeless, once you're poor, once you're at a particular level of poverty, it's difficult to see yourself as a human being and to regard yourself as a human being because people think that when you're homeless, you're supposed to be dirty and you're supposed to be unkempt. That's for people who don't even have a car to live in. They are really living on the street. Literally, they might have a tent. They might have some covers to be under. That's who people are thinking of when they think of homeless people who may have mental issues, things of that nature. They're unkempt, they're unbathed, they are unwashed, they are ungroomed. There's no such thing as walking in a store getting anything because they literally don't have any money and they literally don't or cannot work for various reasons. Maybe they're on drugs, maybe they got a mental problem, whatever. Just like So I don't blame them for doing that. It's just like a man who is a working homeless man. Let's say there's a man who he got some type of job but he's homeless. I don't begrudge him to spend a little bit of his money to find a way to cut his hair or find a way to groom himself. I would not begrudge that. I don't begrudge a homeless person to find a way to still try to present themselves as a human being. Homeless today doesn't look like homelessness in the 60s, or because homeless people also have phones. They got a phone, because that's really how you're going to make your money. Even if you trying to do Uber or you need a phone for that. You need a phone for that. Going to try to find a job, you need a phone for that. Trying to apply, trying to get some type of help, you need a phone for that, because you need the internet. You need access. You need access to the outside world. So I want people to get a clearer understanding of what homelessness looks like today in the 21st century in America. Because you fall into a deeper pit if you can't even use the little money that you get to still try to be presentable to the public facing. Because if a woman is homeless in her car and she wants to use that car for Uber, she got to keep up some type of look. She can't show up with crusty face and looking like she just walked in out of the forest preserve to drive a car. Nobody's getting in her car. She got to try to have some type of water somewhere, a hotel room, or something. She got to go somewhere and wash herself or something. She got to have enough money to try to make sure that the car run good enough for her to do. It costs to be homeless in the United States. And I said this before, that is not a free thing. It's not free. You're not free of expenses just because you no longer have a residence. It costs. It costs to be homeless. You got some stuff you want to put in storage, you got to pay for that. You got a car you living in, you got to pay for that. Gas got to be had, maintenance got to be done. Got to eat. Can't always make it to the soup kitchen. Can't always make it to the food pantry. So homelessness looks different than we think it look. It look different than television tell us it look different than it did 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. So a lot of these people that we're seeing on this internet that's crying and saying that they're homeless, a lot of them are working. This is the new thing, the working homeless. The working home. It's beyond the working poor. We had the working poor, the people who were still in poverty, and everybody told them, oh, get a job. I got a job. It's not enough. That's how bad the economy has gotten. This is what winter looks like. We're going to get to the women part, but I want to be able to create the structure under which we're having this conversation. Because there was a working poor. Now there's a working homeless class. There's a class of people who got a full-time job and a hustle on the side that's got a W-2, and they cannot afford the cost of living in most places. When I say cost of living, I mean going to get a little bootleg place, because holding a job a lot of times precludes you from getting Section 8 or food stamps or any of that other stuff. So a lot of these people don't really qualify. They got to go into the shelters and stuff like that. But because they're working, they're not considered the priority or the more destitute. They're going, the shelters and things for placement is going for people who don't have nothing, not a job, nothing. If you come in there talking about you homeless, but you be working, you're lower on the priority list. You're lower on that list. Okay. So these people that you're looking at, this is why they got a phone to be on the internet. They need it. They need it. They need it. You're not getting nothing done in this country without internet access. We know that. They're gonna do that. It's called UBI, Universal Basic Income. Trust and believe within the next 5 to 10 years, just my guesstimation, they're definitely going to introduce the UBI, because the job market is not going to go back quite to the way that it was before. Just my opinion. I could be completely in left field with that, but just my opinion. The way that this is going, the way AI is going, the way that this is going with the tariffs and not being really able to bring these manufacturing jobs back to America as quickly as they would need to come back in order to bolster the workforce, things of that nature, they're going to have to do the universal basic income. They're going to have to do it. It's going to be too many of these people. It's going to be too many of these people, the working homeless. The working homeless. So that's just my, like I said, I could be wrong, but universal basic income is coming. That's coming. It's going to have to. Being in the city is a rat race, and it's kind of a trap. It's kind of its own vicious cycle, because other places that are not big city is more affordable, right? But if you hustling, where's the money in the small town? See, in the city, you can hustle. And it's kind of a rat trap too, because you there to hustle, but the cost of living is also higher. But I'm so broke, I can't really afford to relocate. Because if I relocate somewhere else that ain't got no hustle, how am I supposed to hustle? How am I supposed to do it? That's the cycle. That's the cycle. So I'm not disagreeing with you, because the living outside of the big city is more affordable, 9 times out of 10. You can get a little bit better deal, your money stretch a little bit further, but it ain't enough people to generate the hustle. Like if I wanted to do Uber, I can't do that in a small town. We have so many different
that I've been looking for, but as of right now, I'm set for January the 31st for orientation. So once I can get a badge number, then that's when it'll be official um, for me. But at least as of right now, coming from the horse's mouth, I'm in the final stages and I'm set for the 31st. So we'll see how that goes. Um, it's just a blessing to just be able to be here where I am today. I think this journey is actually helping me overall as a whole for the mission that I want to complete. I think I only got a little bit of time left. Long story short, when it's all said and done, I want to start an organization in my baby's name to help other women like myself from that have had stillbirths, um, postpartum depression, um, mainly surrounded around that. Once I get myself together, because when it's all said and done, no one really talks about stillborn. No one really talks about stillbirth. Um, People hear about postpartum, but if you've never experienced it, it's for real. Especially postpartum, postpartum with the grieving and just the whole process. I do appreciate the women that have comment and open up to me and shared their stories with me as well. Because this is just something that some people don't talk about. So the fact of the matter, um, that they have gotten to the point of being able to say, hey, this is my testimony. This is what I went through. I went through this as well.
I literally try so hard to be strong all the time, but this one hurt. This one hurt. Like, I don't know. It just like really. And I'm laughing because like that's like the only way that I can keep my sanity. But I just love my son and miss him so much. And it just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that I can't see him the way that I want and keep him the way that I want. I just had to fucking like breathe for a second because I know this is just temporary. Like literally, bro, it's just temporary. But I feel like so much time is flying and it's so heavy on my chest because he's so young and I want to be there, a part of his life for every step. I'm not. I said I was getting myself together. I'm gonna actually go get myself together.
After these messages, we'll be right back. So I need everybody to go to ashkicking.com. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you're trying to keep your skin looking and feeling and smelling its absolute best, then this is what you need to do. You need to go to ashkicking.com and get you some of this awesome body butter. If it's going to be your first order, you need to take advantage of the 10% discount. Using the promo code Crimson at checkout. Once again, that link is pinned to the top of the chat, ashkicking.com. Thank you, Pharaoh, said Gender War Final Act, needing Black men support and money. Thank you, Bella, said I don't catch every live, but I watch every video. Thank you for your content and the message you're spreading, very much needed. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I needed that. Yeah, I needed that little pick me up, because sometimes I do think like maybe this ain't the thing. The winter that Kevin Samuel spoke of really was this. See, this goes beyond just the simple you needed a man or you should get a man concept. This actually goes beyond that, the simplicity of that statement. Because when we want to go deeper than that statement, we have to start thinking about what led up to the men not, why are these women outcast? Why are these women outcast? I know that they know men. They are, Thanos is very perceptive. I like Thanos. Thanos is my guy. Are you in Discord, Thanos? We be having good talks in there. You would add to the conversation very well. They are making me choose. I am having to choose. The live streams I like in terms of being able to communicate with you guys in real time. But I may have to, I may have to feed that animal in Discord, the live interaction. Like I said, I'm not going to cut the live streams off super soon, but yeah, more videos, because YouTube is making me choose it. They're making me choose, and they're making my pocket choose it in all complete honesty. So yeah. We have to start thinking about, why aren't the men saving them? There are more women homeless than I think that there has ever been. I don't even know the stats. I haven't looked up the stats. But we can see that there are more, because women are going to be more vocal about that. The men are not going to be very vocal about that, about their struggles, about their homelessness, about their problems. Okay. They're not going to, men in general are not going to be super vocal, because they don't want to appear to be weak, and they don't want to appear to be vulnerable or put themselves in a position where people think that they can take advantage of them because they're in a vulnerable state or unstable state in their life at that time. The women are always going to be more vocal about that. Women are always just going to be more vocal, period. Whether they're doing good or bad, that's just how women are. That's just one of the differences between men and women. We're very social. The thing that you'll hear a lot of chicks talk about is, I wonder who else is going through this, because women have a tendency to bond over shared experiences and things of that nature. So you're going to hear women be more vocal about their struggles in homelessness and things of that nature. This is why they're on their phone. This is why they're crying. This is why they're filming themselves and things of that nature. They're hoping that there's a resource somewhere, or if nothing more than to commiserate with other women about it. That's just the nature of women. That's just a thing women are going to do. If we're going through something, we want to know if other women have that similar experience, because we are trying to figure out if we're the anomaly and if we crazy. So the other part, of the winter is that women said, the collective, and when I say women said, I don't even necessarily mean each individual woman. I mean the concept that was pushed as a part of the brainwashing and the agenda of feminism and the breaking of families and the breaking of the bond between men and women, because it's a whole engine behind this. This is not a mistake. Okay, this was a well calculated thing to end up here. Women ending up here and here being a recession and a depression, that's not a mistake. It's not a happenstance. That was well orchestrated. Okay, it was well orchestrated. So there's no, this is why Kevin was able to predict it, because it wasn't just, oh my God, it happened from nowhere. It's not from nowhere. It's not from nowhere. It's a well orchestrated thing. That because women don't have extended foresight, still can't see the plays. They still can't see the plays. And women are never going to be able to see the plays years in advance, because women don't have that long foresight. Women don't have that. We don't have it. We don't have it. We're more short-sighted. We have more insight. We can only do foresight for smaller amounts of time, couple of months in advance, something. But that 5, 10, 15 year foresight, like, no, this issue gonna lead to that issue that might lead to domino. That's for men. Generally speaking, men have a better ability for foresight. Long. Okay. Due to this lack of foresight that women have, just in general, women did not see the writing on the wall. Don't understand, generally speaking, how the world works, how economies work. And listen, as a woman, I'm not sitting here to say I had an expert view of it either. It's just that certain things make sense. Certain things make sense. So it's like this certain things are unsustainable. This whole every job is this intellectual thing that doesn't have much to do with physicality, physical labor. Everybody's got these high paying, high intellectual, that's not sustainable. You can't get rid of the I'm not even gonna call it the underclass, but the blue collar physical work class. You can't get rid of them, because everything that you try to build the society on is built on them. So you can't remove that. And this country removed a good chunk of it. The only thing they left was what was necessary to uphold infrastructure. That's what they left. Enough to uphold the infrastructure, but very little surplus of those kinds of jobs. So that inflated sense of safety, it was a false sense of safety, a false sense of everything will be okay. Why do most people think everything will be okay? Because they think some man somewhere at the top of something is gonna make it okay. Because men have made the society operate the way that it do. So women got comfortable. And in that comfortability, many of them said, many feminist-minded, hyena-minded women said, we don't need the men, because they thought that the men having men was optional, and they thought that the only value of men was financial. Let me repeat that. They kept saying we don't need the men because erroneously they believed that having men was optional and that it meant financial. The only value that he had was financial. Disregarding the necessity of the traditional family structure. They disregarded the necessity of the traditional family structure, men and women, children, possibly extended family as well. Did not understand that it was those things that are the building blocks for a community. When you have a community, there is more safety. There is more stability. This is why I be saying that feminism was anti-woman. Feminism is anti-woman because it has women going against their nature. See, people think feminism is in line with women's nature. No, it is not. It is a manipulation of women's nature that has them going against what a woman is and what women do. This is why good women got phased out, because it's actually not aligned with what women actually do and what our nature actually is. We are survivors if we are nothing else. And we will adapt in order to survive. Paramount to survival is safety. Can't survive without safety. If the less safety, the more chances you don't survive. Extended family, community family, that was safety. It was safety. And it was stability. That's what it meant. That's what it meant. And all those years of brainwashing women from little girl to say and to believe that the work that women did in order to help maintain that safety and help maintain that stability was wrong. And that women should not have done it because the men were taking advantage of them having done it. And that the men don't actually like women. They just like what women can do. They only like women when women can help. They don't like women. They don't like femininity. They don't like female energy. They certainly don't like female nature. So therefore, since men don't like you, you don't owe them anything. So feminism positioned it as a get back to men. The part they didn't say was that the women were going to suffer for that. And the way that they was able to cover it up, to cover up the reality of those decisions until they couldn't cover it up anymore. Right now, they can't cover it up anymore. Was by giving these women all the long enough rope to hang themselves. We give you jobs, we give you assistance, we'll have all these programs, we give you child support, we give you alimonies, we'll give you all this stuff to where you can still feel supported. Because had they not done that, women would not have felt supported nor comfortable. It's like, you want me to go over there, but it ain't no stable ground over there. So why would I go over there? Why would I go over there? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. So they had to incentivize it. This is why I say feminism is a manipulation of female nature. They know women like stability. And the more stability it is, the better we like it. So if they just present the image of stability and sell it, it's not actually stable. Right? Because these are the same people that pull the rug out from under you when they get ready, which is what's happening right now, right? That's what's happening. That's what's happening. That's the winter. Winter is snatching the rug out from under you. Winter is snatching the feminist rug out from under your feet. Because remember, it's the higher ups that created it and gave it to you to fulfill the goal of the corruption that would lead to the breakdown of the family. Once you get the family broken and you drive that point home to the point where the men are not interested, the men aren't not interested, they're disillusioned. They're disillusioned. Men are disillusioned and they're disenchanted. That's what's happening with the men. They're not interested. They're interested in women if women go back to having the values that would help support a family. They're very interested. However, they're disillusioned and they're disenchanted. And that was the point. That was the point. To corrupt it so bad that the men would finally get to a position of being disillusioned and disenchanted. And now that has pretty much been achieved for the most part, now they ready to snatch the rug out from under you. And that is winter. That is winter. To make the society go back, for all intents and purposes, slowly, the emphasis is now being made that feminism was wrong, that it was not sustainable. Lionesses told y'all that was not sustainable way back. It was lionesses. We was just outnumbered. It was lionesses back years ago. This is not stable. Don't let them tell you that. Don't let them give you a white woman's problem that don't have nothing to do with us. Don't let them do that to you. But we were ignored. We were ignored and we were cast to the side. Our voices were quieted and muted. They muted the mic. Muted the mic. Muted the lioness's mic. Said, nope, we here to stay. It's a new day for the women. And we not down with that traditional stuff that you lionesses is talking about. We done with that. We done being barefoot and pregnant. We done kowtowing up after a man. We done, having a man over us and telling us what to do, and we can't, live our best life, and we can't achieve nothing, because men don't want us to achieve nothing. They don't want us to do nothing but have these babies and cater up after them. And my life is more than having all these babies and rubbing his feet all day. My life got to be more than that. Lioness has said your life can be more than that, but you don't have to throw the men away. You don't have to throw wife and mother away in order to get other things as well. You can juggle them. You can juggle them. You can juggle them. You just gotta prioritize your family and your marriage and your children. You have to prioritize that stuff. But you can work and have money and that kind of stuff. You can do that. You absolutely can do that. Hyena said nope, because he's still gonna try to tell you what to do. So we out of here. Y'all can stay over there and be pick-me's and stupid with these men if you want to. We going out here and we gonna have a blast. Okay. That lasted for as good as it lasted. That they had their fun. Now it's time to pay the piper. Had your fun. Now it's hell to pay the captain. Because the same group that gave you the feminism to begin with to corrupt your mind is not saying, oh, you can't have that. The world is changing. And now you are caught outside with nary a thing to help you and can't get back in the door. You remember what I said about family? You traded that in. You don't want to be cooperative with no men. You don't want to be cooperative within a family. You don't want to do your job within a family structure. You don't want to do that. And not only do you not want to do that, you were so high and mighty that you revealed your hand while you was popping your gums and talking about how a man can do this and he can't do that with you for you and You messed around and you showed your hand. What do I mean by that? You show how ugly you was gonna act when you felt like you was untouchable, when you felt like you was never gonna need him again. You showed your whole behind. You bit the hand that was feeding you and you burnt all the bridges. You went through and burnt all the bridges. You burnt them. Now you can't cross them again. What bridge they done burnt? All of them. It's over with. I'm doing what COVID did. They'll never get over it. You can't, you burnt your bridges. Do you realize that? That's why you can't come back. That's why the men is looking at you sideways like, I will help you. Some of y'all kind of cute. Wouldn't mind helping you. See, I wouldn't have minded helping you, but you burnt the bridge. I know you got a little can of lighter fluid under you. I know you got it. See, you showed me that you had a little can of lighter fluid and some matches. See, you ain't gonna come over here and burn mine. You already done burnt that bridge. I watched you sit there and just an arsonist. Running around here burning these bridges, just an arsonist. Never did thought You were gonna have to cross that bridge again, but oh, there we go. There we go. Now you, I'm homeless. And listen, I feel sorry for you. There's a part, I'm empathetic. I'm empathetic to that. Nobody wants to be homeless. Nobody wants to be, just out there in the world. Don't know when you're gonna be up again and things of that nature, but you got to be humble. And it's not the men that's humbling you. I want you to know that. It is not the men that the men didn't set that in motion. Not our men anyway. Men did it, but it's just not black men that did it. They didn't set that in motion. Don't get, I'm not gonna get too beside myself. Those was Kendrick's bars. It was just applicable. Because you cannot be cooperative, and you messed around and you burnt the bridges, and that's the part that's the problem. Had you not burnt the bridges, you would have been able to recross it. You can't burn your bridge. See, it shows the character that you didn't have. It shows the character that you didn't have. When people burn bridges, that show you who they are. You ever had that person in your life that no sooner than they got to a point where they feel like they didn't need you no more, they showed their natural black behind? You ever had that person? Male or female? You ever seen that person say, ooh-wee? Ooh-wee. When you didn't have that, you was over here, you just was as nice and humble and nice as you could be. And now that you got a couple of little different things going on for you that you didn't think was going to go on for you, now we can't touch you. Now can't nobody talk to you. Okay. That's a bridge burn. Now the next time something happened to them, you're not going to be too happy to help them. You're not going to be too willing to help them because of how they acted before. It's like the old folks say, you gonna need me before I need you. You gonna need me before I need you. And lo and behold, you're gonna need the men before they need you. Because the men is struggling too. This economy has beaten everybody. Nobody is escaping unless you're very wealthy. But the men, the average working man, he feeling the crunch. This inflation got you looking crazy out here. You could be making above average if you want to, 70, 80,000. You about to feel it now, baby. You feeling it now. He feeling it. Them groceries done got crazy. They raising rent, and all that kind of stuff. He feel the difference. The difference, though, between men and women, let me tell you this. It's the difference that you never wanted to look at. The men can go out there and hunt and get them some money. And I ain't talking about sex. They can go out there and you got men that's going to go. You got men that's going to buck that cold. You got men that's going to buck that heat. You got men that's gonna buck whatever other obstacle he got, and he gonna go out there and figure out something. Like that Denzel meme. So I'm from around the way. I'm leaving here with something. They gonna figure out something. Only men who either can't or it ain't bit them hard enough for them to go out and say, I'm gonna buck this cold and I'm gonna head on about there and see what I can do. I'm gonna go ahead over here and see what I can do. See if I can't talk to somebody. See if I can't talk to somebody. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something and somebody can help me somewhere. You know, I clean up. You know, I will I help you try to do this landscaping. I'll drive around, you know, whatever. See, that's what men can do that really women can't do. Women can't do that. Our biggest hustle we got, aside from the women who go into sex work, and that ain't on pay as much as you think it pay. The only hustle we really got is like Ubers and delivery services and like cleaning services. We can clean. We can go somewhere and clean something up, you know, or something like that. We can watch children. That's a thing, you know, trying to get you a little license to run a daycare, something like that. You know, try to watch some kids or something like that. I mean, that may not be all of it, but you know what I'm saying? Women, my point is that women cannot do the exact same kind of grind that men do. Because if he a able-bodied, hale and healthy man, he gonna go out there and do something with his hands. Even if that ain't his cup of tea. Even if that's not his thing. Because you got men that don't do that. He more intellectual than anything, but let it bite him too bad. Let him bite it too bad. And see, don't he try to head out and figure out, I can cut that grass too. Just teach me how to use the whatchamacallit. I'll do it. And they resorting to it. I'm going to show you one more. I'm going to show you one more thing. What that say? My name is Lana, divorced. Does not matter whether you are handsome or not, rich or poor, text me hi. Then my day will be better. Hmm? It ain't playing out here. It is not playing out here. Huh? Nobody's playing out here. Nobody's playing. Hold on. Huh? Think it's sweet. Think it's sweet out here.
Hey y'all, for $120, you can spend the night with me. All you gotta do is DM me and respond to this message and DM me and let me know what date and what time. And we can talk date and times and you can spend the night with me. Let's get it cracking.
That was an older woman. She didn't sound happy to do that. Did she sound happy to y'all? Did she sound happy to y'all? She looked like that was completely out of her element. That woman looked and sounded like she was completely out of her element, like she had never done anything like that in her life. Almost to the point where it's like, did somebody make you do that? Did somebody make you do that? She probably was. She probably was. She sounded like she had just gotten done crying. That was not a young woman, and that was not a woman that was accustomed to selling herself either. That broke her. That broke her. Even doing that broke her. That broke her. That broke that woman. So when I say I'm doing this, I'm not doing this to ridicule and laugh at them women, because it's not funny. It's not funny to me. It's not funny. It's just real. It's just real. We just have to be real about why it's like that for so many women. Why? How did we get here? That's what we got to be real about. How did we get here? That's the conversation. Yes. If she goes through with that, if she goes through with that, I could see her offing herself. And that's sad. I could see her just getting rid of herself, crying uncontrollably. She would not be able to look at herself in the mirror no more. No more. I could see her like just ending it. Like, I can't do that. I can't do it. I can't do that. And she would end it. I can see that. I can see that on her. some things is worse than death. And being put in that situation where I feel like that's my last thing that I can do to survive, worse than death. Worse than death. I might have to just walk into the wilderness somewhere, just go on and be no more. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and end it off. I talked too long. But before we go, check this out.
All of these styles and designs can be found at our Etsy shop in the description below. Aaliyah's Unique Boutique. At Etsy.com, follow us on IG at Aaliyah's Unique Boutique.
Aaliyah's Unique Boutique. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. You too can get pairs of hand-painted, hand-designed earrings on sale at Aaliyah's Unique Boutique. The link, once again, is pinned to the top of the chat. There's new inventory on a regular basis. So if you don't see anything that you would like to buy yourself, or that you would like to buy your wife or anyone a gift of wonderful, beautiful, this is lightweight. It's very beautiful for any occasion. If you don't see anything right now, check back regularly. Like I said, inventory is always updated on a regular basis. All right. All right. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host of The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonite.